Hello friends, good afternoon to one and all. I welcome you all for this webinar on 5 years methodologies for lean manufacturing. But before starting this webinar, we have started the webinar series and this is the second webinar of that series. Already we have completed our first webinar. The topic name was how to write a research paper on current protocols. The link of that webinar I will give in the comment box below. You can check it out after completion of this webinar. And if you want to have the certificate for a previous webinar, that is how to write a research manuscript on current protocols, then after completion of that course you can reach out to us. All our contact details are also given in the comment box below. You can check it out and you can reach out to us. We will generate a certificate for you and we will offer that certificate to you. Now without wasting much of the time, we are going to start our today's topic, that is webinar 2 of webinar series, and that is 5 years methodologies for lean manufacturing. Now before starting that, we can have the speaker profile. Already I have shared that speaker profile on your WhatsApp groups or Telegram channel. Still, as a part of protocol, we will have the introduction of the speaker. His name is Mr. Ravikiran Yamtate. He is working as CIP Coordination and Employee Suggestion Scheme Administration at Bosch Limited, Nashik. Now he has completed his graduation from Solapur University, Solapur. After that he has completed his master's program from Pune University. After that he has joined the Bosch Limited, Nashik, and he is working there almost for 7.5 years. Now which extra things or which according things he has done are handling the responsibility of CIP coordination and employee suggestion scheme administration. Then he has participated and moderated various workshops of value stream design in administration, that is VSDIA. Moderated few CIP workshops. He is also having knowledge about problem solving methodologies like 8D, Swift workshops, speed days or works, and Shenin. Then he has also implemented 5 years technologies for waste elimination and a safe working environment. He is having experience of more than 150 cross audits of 5 years at various departments in the organization. The KPI for which he is working are: first one, 100% employee involvement; second, 10 VSDIA workshops in 2020; and finally overall 5 years score of 85% including direct and indirect areas. Now without wasting much of the time, I will request our speaker Mr. Ravikiran Tate to take the charge and enlighten us regarding 5 years methodologies for lean manufacturing. Please sir. Thank you.
Hello guys, welcome you all. I'm Ravi Kiran Tate. So today we will have the webinar on 5 years. Okay, so we'll see the agenda for today's webinar. So this webinar we will see in total 7 phases. In the first phase, we will complete the why part of the 5 years and the objectives of the 5 years. Okay. In the second phase, we will cover the what part of the 5 years and 5 years in the nutshell. Okay. And in the next 5 phases, we will see the goals, target, ways to achieve the target, and the models and standards for the each years. That is 1 year for sort out, then 2 years for set in order, then 3 years for shine, then 4 years for standardize, and last 5 years for sustenance. Okay, so we'll move to the first phase. We will start with the golden circle. Okay, if you ask me what is the relation between golden circle and 5 years, then the answer is definitely no any relation. Okay. So then the question arises in your mind that why we are starting with the golden circle. Okay, before going to the answer, let me ask you 2 questions. Have you noticed that why some leaders are more influential, inspiring, and innovative than others? Okay. How legendary leaders like Steve Jobs, Martin Luther Jr. King, and Wright brothers were able to inspire rather than manipulate in order to motivate the people. Do you have the answer for these questions? It's because of the framework of why. Okay, so this why will give you the purpose. Let's take one example. Okay, see, there are real number of companies those are manufacturing the laptops. Few company makes their advertisement that we are the preferred manufacturer of laptops. In last decade, we have sold these many laptops like this. Okay, but if you see some companies like Apple, how they make the advertisement, they start like this: we value your preference and we ensure your confidentiality of the details. So we have come up with like this way. So they are starting with the why part, not with the what part. So because of that, they are most successful industries. Okay. So now you might have understood the why part is how important it is. Okay. So the why part will give you the purpose, and how you how part will lead you for the process or the steps going towards the results. Okay, and what part is about the expected results. So now I think you are clear with the concept of the golden circle. Okay, so now we will start with the why 5S is important, because if you are not able to find the things at workplace, then you should carry out the 5S. And if you are seeing some waste in your area, or if you don't know how to do the work, then also it triggers to 5S. And if you don't know where to find it and whose responsibility is it, then you have to carry out the 5S. Okay, so this 5S can be implemented in the offices, shop floor, or at home also you can implement. In order to get more clarity on why part of the 5S, we will have one game. Okay, number game or alphabet game. So what you have to do, you have to find out the missing number and missing alphabet. So now I will set my stopwatch. Together we will find the number which is missing. Okay, so your time starts now. So okay, so first we'll see the numbers. Okay, so here is 1, then where is 2? 2 is here, and where is 3? 3 is here, 4 is here, and then 5 is here, 6, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, yes, 10 is here, then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 4 is 19, I think 19 is missing. Okay, next 20, no, 21 is here, then 22 is here, then 23 is here, 24 is here, 25 is here, then there is 26 is here, 27 is here, then 28 is here, 29 is here, and 30. Okay, so almost it has taken 2 minutes and 23 seconds to identify the missing number. Okay, now you have identified only one number is missing, that is number 90. Okay, so I will note the time, 2 minutes 23 seconds. Okay, now I will reset my stopwatch and will start the missing letter. Okay, to find out the missing letter. So start. Where is A, then B, then C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N is here, N, O, P, Q, I have got it, Q, R, I think R is missing, S, T, U, V, where is W? W is there. Okay. X, Y, Z. R is missing. Okay. So total, if you see, roughly 6 minutes has taken to identify the missing numbers. Okay. So now, after doing the 5 years at the workplace, we will see how much time will require to identify the missing number and alphabet. Okay, so let me set the time. So your time starts now. Okay, so this 19 is missing, and it is R is missing. Okay, so within 15 seconds I could able to find out the missing number. Okay, so if you calculate the efficiency, earlier without 5 years it has taken around 200 seconds. Now we are easily identify in 15 seconds. What it means, after doing this 5 years we are able to save our 75% time. Okay, to search these numbers, missing numbers. So now you might have understood why this 5 years is important. Okay, so now 5 years through Hendrick model. So what Hendrick model tells us that the problems at seed stage we should focus on it, because see here, these 300, let's say these 300 are the near miss. Okay, so if you are not conducting a 5 years improvements, or if you are neglecting those 300 near miss, then this 300 near miss will grow, and out of this 300, 30 may cause the minor accidents, and you can see those 30 at the growing stage. Okay, so let us take an example. If all the parts, gauges, tooling fixtures are in the scattered way, and oil is also gets spread on the floor, so you can say this all oil on the floor, then parts and tooling fixtures are in the scattered way are like a seed stage. Okay, so if at the time of taking out the fixtures or parts, your finger may get stuck in between them, or you may have the finger injuries like minor injuries. Okay, so those problems or those near miss has led to getting the finger injuries like a minor accident. Next possibility, consider if you get a slip from the oil and you may get hit on head. Such type of major accident can happen if you avoid those problems at seed stage. Okay, so in order to avoid this phenomena, we have to resolve the problem at seed stage only. So resolving these problems means what we have to do? We have to implement the 5S to minimize or to eliminate those near miss. Okay, and improve safe conditions at workplace. So now we will move to the objectives of the 5S. Okay, so we'll start with the first objective, to eliminate the waste. Okay, you might have aware about the 7 types of the waste. Okay, so the technique to remember these 7 types of waste is team wood. Okay, in team wood, T stands for the transportation, then I stands for inventory, M stands for motion, W stands for waiting, O stands for overproduction, next O stands for overprocessing, and D stands for defect. If you want to understand details about these 7 types of the waste, so you can write us in the comment box, so that it will trigger us to make the video on the type of waste in the next coming days. Okay, so we'll see the next objective. So the next objective is to reduce the accessibility and searching time. Okay, and next is to optimize the utilization of the space. Next, to improve the ergonomic design of the workplace. Then to have the safe and better working environment, and to get the improved productivity and quality. Okay, and last is to improve customer satisfaction. Okay, so these are few objectives. So this is about the first phase. In this first phase, now you are very much clear about this why part of the 5S and what are the various objectives of the 5S. Okay, so we have seen in the last video why part of the 5S, why 5S is important, and what are the objectives of the 5S. Okay, so in this part we will see what is the 5S and 5S in the nutshell. Okay, so the definition of 5S is a method, or you can say it is an approach for continuous improvement of order and cleanliness in the company. Okay, so company, it means that not only in the workshop as well in the offices. So this 5S is one of the basis for visual management, which makes the process transparent and discrepancies are identified immediately, and it teaches the discipline with involving all the employees. Okay, this 5S, the origin of 5S is from the Japanese, and the 5S names are derived from the first letter of Japanese terms. Like 1S stands for sort, in Japanese it is seiri, then 2S stands for set in order, then 3S stands for shine, then 4S stands for standardize, and 5S stands for sustain. Okay, so we'll move to the definitions and descriptions of the terminologies. So the definition of sort is differentiate as necessary atoms and unnecessary atoms. The meaning of sort is you have to remove the unnecessary atoms from the workplace. Okay, so not using it, then remove it from the workplace. Yeah, then the second term is 2S is nothing but set in order. So the definition of 2S, that is set in order, is keep the things where it meets its function by best possible way. Okay, so the meaning of the set in order is nothing but you have to make the PIP marking, that is place for everything and everything at its place. Okay, so the third term 3S stands for the chain, and its definition is nothing but inspect its function and eliminate dirt and damage. Okay, so the meaning of chain is more than just cleaning, it is a control or inspection. So few people understood that chain is nothing but only a housekeeping. So it is more than a housekeeping, or it is more than a cleaning, it is like a control or a inspection. So 4S is nothing but the standardize. So the definition of standardize is to maintain the things as per agreed upon conditions. So the meaning of standard is it makes easier to work or get the work done. Okay, and fifth S stands for sustain. It is making a habit of doing the activity as per the standards. Okay, so to ensure sustenance, conduct the audits and layer process confirmation. Okay, so this is about the terminology and definitions. So now we'll move to the 5S. In this picture you will be able to get an overview of why, how, what, when, who and where. So already we have seen in the previous videos that why 5S is important. Okay, so to ensure the safety at the workplace, 5S is important. We have seen that Hendrick model, how near miss leads to the minor and then it leads to the major accidents. Okay, so in order to avoid those minor and major accidents, we need to conduct a 5S. Also, it is important to improve the ergonomic at workplace to eliminate the cumulative stress orders in the operator. Okay, next is to eliminate the waste like transportation waste, then defect, then overproduction, overreaching. Here those are enlisted. Okay, so the next is to trigger your mind with Kaizen. So Kaizen is nothing but the change for the betterment. And also why 5S is important, in order to improve the appearance so that the customer satisfaction will increase and self pride will be built. Okay, so this is about the why part. Then now we'll move to the how and what tools are there to implement the 5S. Okay, so the first tool is Kaizen event or Kaizen campaign, you can say. Okay, so you can launch a campaign based on 5S for all employees. Then second is the process map. So at the time of the mapping of process, you will come across various types of NVAs, that is non-value added activities. Next, visual control and checklist. Okay, so through visual control and checklist like CLEAT is nothing but C stands for clean, L stands for lubricate, I stands for inspection, and T stands for tighten. Those machineries or machines where TPM, total productive maintenance, is implemented, on those machines you can find this CLEAT chart as well. Okay, so such types of checklists you can make it. Then next is reach zones. Okay, so these reach zones will give you the horizontal and vertical location where work can be done through ergonomics. Okay, so it means that it will include the ergonomic study so that the reach of the operator can be easily assessed, so that there will be a lesser cumulative stress generated in the operator. Okay, then next is a spaghetti diagram. So this spaghetti diagram will give you the routing or the flow through the factory or the system. Okay, and lastly, the teamwork is also one of the tools to implement the 5S. Now we will see the what part of the 5S. Okay, as you know, the origin of 5S is from the Japanese terminology. Okay, it was first implemented in Toyota. So this 5S relates to the work improvement methodology, and these are the 5 steps. 1S stands for the sort, 2S stands for the set in order, 3S stands for the chain, 4S stands for the standardize, and 5S stands for the sustainment. So let us understand the dynamics of this 5S implementation. when you do the 5S activities, it will get easier to work you, and it will replicate for getting more available time, and as the time availability is increased, so you can have the more production. As well, these 5S improvements will lead to the better quality, and this better quality will lead to the customer satisfaction and the self pride of the operator. Okay, so now we'll come to the when part. Okay, so when you have to do these 5S improvements, if you are doing it on daily basis, it is well, and if you are launching some Kaizen campaigns or some Kaizen events for the motivation of operators, okay, so it will be better. So now we will see who is responsible and where this 5S has to be done. Okay, so the operator means all the employees working on a machine, and the steering committee member means managerial staff has to do this 5S. Okay, and where they have to do it, they have to do it in their own areas. Okay, so this is about the 5S in a nutshell. So now we'll move to the next phases. Now we will see the goals, targets, ways to achieve the target, and then models and standards phase wise. Okay, so we'll start with the first phase, that is sort. So the goal is to identify and eliminate the things which we do not need. So the target of this sort out is, so we have to remove the non-needed items from the workplace and prevent their accumulation. Okay, so the ways to achieve this target are, so the first way is to decide item by item whether it is needed or not needed. Okay, if the item is not used in the last 1.5 years, so you have to get the rid of it. Okay, second is at the end of the sorting phase, there will be items in 3 categories, that is needed at the workplace, can be used by others, and not needed in the work area. Okay, after segregating all the items in 3 parts, what we have to do, we have to create a 5S museum on the floor, so that it will act as a temporary location for the new items, those cannot be used at workplace. Okay, and then we have to restrict the access of this 5S museum to maintain its standards, so that it will not act as a dumping ground for others. Okay, so now we'll move to the 1S table. So this 1S table is created as per the frequency of use. Okay, let's say the priority is high when it is used once per hour or once per day. If we need to use the item once per hour, then we have to warn it on the body, or you have to keep it on the machine frame. Okay, and if the item is required once per day, then you have to keep it at the place of use only. If the priority is medium, it means if the use of frequency is once per a week or once per a month, then you have to keep this keep those part near the place of use only. And if the priority is medium, and if the item is required once per 2 to 3 months, then you have to keep those items at the departmental store only. Okay, and low priority, it means if the frequency of use is less, that is if it is required once a year or 2 to 3 times a year, then you have to keep it in the central store only. Okay, so have you understood how to differentiate this priority according to the use of frequency? Okay, good. Now we will move to the result of 1S. Okay, a lot of non-functional and non-needed tools or defective parts or components will be removed from the workplace. Okay, then more space area will be created at the offices as well as at the shop floor, and also it will help you to improvement in visual perception and improved safety. Okay, have you understood the results of 1S? Okay, then now we will move to the 1S model. So this 1S model will lead you to implement the 1S at the shop level. Okay, so basic 3 questions you need to ask. What are those questions? First question, you have to ask atom by atom, do I need it? If no, then you have to ask second question, does it an asset of a company or a property? If it is an asset, then you have to take the approval and dispose it as per the company procedure or standards. Okay, and if it is not asset, then you have to simply throw it. Okay, if the answer of this do I need it is yes, it is required, then you have to ask the second question, do I need it in this quantity? Okay, if the answer comes no, then what you have to do, you have to transfer those excess quantity to the 5S museum. Okay, so while transferring this excess quantity to the 5S museum, you have to adhere to the standards of the 5S museum. Okay, and if you are required those atoms in that quantity, then you have to ask the next question, does it have a visualized location? Okay, if it does not have the visualized location, then you have to create the location, or you have to put it in the 5S museum till the time you are creating the new location for that component. Okay, and if it does have the visualized location, then you have to keep it at its location. Okay, so mainly this 1S model is depending on only 3 questions. That is, first one is do I need it, second do I need it in this quantity, and third one is does it have the visualized home. Okay, have you understood this? Okay, then now we will move to the next 1S standards. Okay, so the first standard is not needed or defective equipment, those who are not fulfilling its function should not be located in the working area. Then what we have to do, we have to red tag those items and we need to move it in the 5S museum. Okay, if such equipment still at the workplace because of they are waiting for the disposal or carrying away, then what you have to do, you have to red tag those items and you have to keep it in the defined 5S museum. Okay, so the next standard will be the items those can be used by others should be tagged with the white tags and those should be moved to the 5S museum. Okay, so the third standard is you have to keep all the details of material properly in the logbook. Okay, now we will see the format of the logbook. Okay, so what you have to enter in the logbook, you have to enter the material description, then the current department, from which department it is, and then who is putting this material in the 5S museum, and in date when the material came at the 5S museum, signature of that person. Okay, then here you have to put whether it is a red tag material or white tag material. If it is red tag material, it means that you have to dispose that material or you have to scrap that material. Okay, and if it is a white tag material, it means that it can be used by other colleagues or at other places. Okay, and after maintaining this 5S logbook, 5S museum logbook, what you have to do, you have to circulate the mail as per defined frequency of, let's say, 3 month or 4 month in the organization, so that all employees will visit to the 5S museum and they will check out whether those items can be used by them, and if it is used by them, then they will take out from the 5S museum and they will write here the date and their signature. So, and you have to maintain the PDCA status of this all the material, that is plan do check act status. Okay, so fine. Now we will move to the examples. Okay, so how many of you have played this game in your childhood? Can you find the differences between two pictures? Here you can see the before picture and here you can have the after. Okay, see the comparison between them. Here you can see a lot of boxes are there. Okay, and here those boxes are removed. Okay, so by visually you can differentiate between before and after picture. So what is done here, this is the picture before doing the sort out activity and this is the picture after doing this sort out activity. So all the material non needed items are removed from the workplace. Okay, so now we'll move to the Next example, second example. Okay, see here in the before photograph you will see a lot of material. Okay, some boxes are there, then trolleys are there, then cupboards are there. Okay, so those are before doing sort out activity. After completion of the sort out activity, you can see the comparison, how the space is generated, more space is generated, then non-needed items are also removed from the workplace. Okay, so this is about the 1S, that is sort out. Now I think you might be clear about the sort out operation, how it is to be done. Now we will see the set in order. Okay, so the goal for this 2S is a place for everything and everything at its place. We call it as a peak. Okay, then the target. So each and every individual item should be systematically arranged so that everybody can take it, use it and put it back in its place. Okay, so objective of 2S is to eliminate the waste. For example, waste caused by searching of an atom. Okay, so now we will see the ways to achieve the target. Okay, the first way is, the most frequently used items at the workstation should be stored closest to the operator. Okay, so the second way is all movable equipment or items are to be labeled and it has a designated place tapped on the floor or at the workstation. Okay, then the third is, unless and until you are using that item, all the equipment should be at designated place at any point of the time in a day. Okay, then the next fourth floor location for work in process are tapped and labeled. Then fifth, cupboards to be arranged properly and inventory is to be displayed on it. Okay, so these are the ways and means to achieve the set in order. Okay, now we will move to the standards. So the first standard is equipment gauges, then cleaning aids, papers, stationery, sample, waste bin, tools, fixtures, etc. shall have a defined place and it is to be marked. Okay. Then second, each trolley, rack, supermarket, etc. is to be provided with a standardized 5S label in a feasible place. Then the next is to assure the safety and order. The cables are to be tied up, labeled and covered by tape or hidden casing. Okay, so fourth standard, for counters and cabinets are provided on the front side with a label containing name of the department and the worker responsible. Also, the inventory should be visualized on the upfront of the cabinet. Okay, then next, standard color coding should be used for the floor marking. Okay, then the last one, go vertical for space saving and ease of the floor cleaning. Okay, now we will see the 2S model. Okay, so we have to ask the question, is there a defined place for every item? If the answer comes no, then you have to ask the second question, is the place is identified? If place is identified, then you have to define the standard. If the place is not identified, then area owner will identify a place. Okay, and if it has an identified place, then does it identified as per the frequency of use? If no, then you have to define the place as per frequency of use. Okay, and if yes, then is everything at its place? Then no, then place it at its defined place, and if yes, it's well, good. Okay, so this is the 2S model. Now we'll see some standard colors for floor marking. Okay, so these are the standard colors. For example, yellow is used for the gangways, then work cells, traffic lanes. Okay, then red is used for the defect, scrap, red tag areas. Okay, then this orange is used for the product or material inspection. Okay, then this red and white is used for the electrical panel firefighting. That is for safety purpose it is used. Okay, then black and white is used for area to be kept clear from the operational purpose, that is non-safety related area. Okay, Black and yellow color is used to designate areas that present special physical or health risk to employees. For example, heat treatment areas like this. Okay. So these are the some standard colors used for the floor marking. Okay. Now we will move to the some examples of the 2S. Okay. Here in this before photograph, you can see how a toolbox is arranged. Okay. If you want to find the Allen key of 8 number, then it is very difficult to find out the Allen key from this toolbox. So before here you can straight away compare before and after photograph of this 2S. After performing this set in order activity, how this toolbox looks like this. Okay, so from after photograph you can easily identify the tools which are required by you. Okay, so now we'll move to the next. Here we don't have the before after comparison, but here you can see how this set in order is performed here for the cabinet, then inventory is visualized. Okay, then this peep marking. Okay, so this is all about the 2S. So okay, before starting to the shine, so we'll revise what we have learned today. So we have learned the why part of the 5S and the objectives of the 5S in the first video. Then in second, we have learned what part of the 5S and 5S in the nutshell. And in last two videos, we have done the detailed discussion on the 1S and 2S. Okay. So before moving to the third S, I would like to clear one doubt from all of you. Some of the people have understanding of only shine is nothing but the 5S. Okay. So before various types of the plant management visits or audits or shop rounds or let's say in the mock drill, what they used to do, they used to have the cleaning of all the shop floor. Okay, so they are understanding the cleaning is nothing but the 5S. Okay, so obviously cleaning is the one step in the 5S, but only cleaning doesn't mean the 5S. So we'll see what is the goal of this shine. So the goal of shine is cleaning is understood as a inspection or a control. Okay, so only housekeeping, it doesn't mean as a shine activity. So cleaning is to be understood as a inspection or a control. So the target is to eliminate all forms of the contaminations. Okay, why we have to eliminate all forms of the contaminations? Because if those contamination or if those particle enters in the products, then it may cause the malfunctioning of the product. So we have to eliminate all forms of the contaminations. So the second comes inspection of leakages, leakages like air leakage, fluid leakage, oil leakage from all types of the pipe, then breakage of the tools, then damage of the fixture and malfunctioning of the equipment like gauges. Okay, so this is about the target. Now we will see about the ways to achieve this target. So the method is determine area we want to clean, and in this area we shall define what we want to clean, when and how often, and what cleaning means we are going to use. Okay, how much time it will take and who is responsible. Clear cleaning resume to be made and it is to be tested. So the next way, the prepared documentation will be considered for the standardization. Okay, so now we will move to the standards, 3S standards. Okay, so the first standard is the definition of clean must be defined properly and understood properly by each and every operator or managerial staff. So it should be defined on the 5S board only. So the second standard, updated layout of area or department specifying responsibility of each section in production hangar is posted in a visible place near the production. Okay, so the third standard, cleaning plan for the areas is always posted together with the above updated layout. Okay, so the next is the cleaning plan should specify the equipment used for the cleaning. Okay, then next standard, create a standard for electronic data cleaning. For example, whatever the files or folders in the laptop or in a system we are keeping, those should be cleaned at a specified interval. Okay, so the standard to be prepared for the cleaning of electronic data. Okay, so the next standard for operator to clean the workplace or machine at the end of shift is also necessary, and it is to be created and placed near the his workplace. Okay, so this is about the standards. Now we will move to the 3S model. Okay, so the first question we have to ask is the definition of clean is defined? If no, then caretaker should visualize it and take a info sharing with all stakeholders, so that they should be clear about this, what clean means. That clean is nothing but it is understood as a control or a inspection. Okay, and if the definition is clear, then is cleaning duty and schedule is defined? If it is not defined, then caretaker should prepare a cleaning schedule and the responsibility matrix. Okay, who is responsible for what cleaning? Okay, and when he is supposed to clean it. Okay, if the schedule is defined, then is the schedule is up to date? Many a times what happens, schedule is defined, but that schedule was earlier schedule, it is not updated. So what you have to do, you have to inform the caretaker and note it in the open point list, so that the caretaker will take a corrective actions and he will update the schedule. Okay, once the schedule is updated, then you have to ask the next question, is the workplace is clean? If no, then you have to again inform to the caretaker and note in the open point list, so that the corrective action can be taken on it. Okay, and if it is clean, well, it's fine. Now we will see one of the example of this cleaning activity done. Okay, so here I have posted the machine picture, because there you can get many pictures of floor cleaning, then dust is removed from the cupboard like this, but this is one of the best picture you can see. From this picture you will get the message of cleaning will give you the early detection of deterioration and damage. Okay, so here you can see how this tank is getting deteriorated, and you can also here identify the leakage from the tank. Okay, so after having early detection of deterioration, you can take the action on it and you can have the repaired tank. Okay, so here you can see the after photograph. Okay, so now we'll move to the some results of the cleaning activity. Okay, so the clean working environment is nothing but a improvement of customers' confidence. Okay, then the second is safety will be assured. Then next, so because of the cleaning or removal of the contamination from the workplace, lesser extra activity will be required. Then the professional and pleasant work environment will create. Then trouble-free machines will have. Then mistake elimination, like less scrap will come up. Okay, so these are the few results. Okay, so this is all about the 3S activity. Okay, I think you are very much clear about the shine activity now. So okay, up till now we have seen 1S, 2S, 3S. That is sort out, set in order and standardize. Okay, so whatever the activities performed in the sort out, then set in order and shine, those should be documented, made available in a standard. So we will see the goal of the standard. Here you can see one diagram. On the x-axis there is a time, and on the y-axis there is a improvement. Okay, so and this is this circle indicates the wheel of improvement. So we have started the journey from the ground, that is we have, let's say from here we have started implementation of the 5S. Okay, so as so as we have moved from the 1S to 2S, then 2S to the 3S, and now we are talking about the 4S. So our wheel of improvement has started its journey from this ground to the upward side. Okay, now what will happen if we have not created the standards of the activities performed in sort, then set in order and shine? So this wheel of improvement will come down automatically. Okay, so the goal of standardize is elimination of the possibility to return its original state. Okay, are you clear with the goal? Okay, now we'll move to the target. So the target is creation of a standard by which expectations are clearly defined, and on the basis of it deviation can be easily identified. So whatever the standards we are creating, those should be clearly defined so that understanding will be clear, and on the basis of it, if you see the standard and actual situation, then the deviation should be easily identified. Okay, so now we will talk about the ways to achieve the target. Okay, so the first, standards for how each workstation, the storage area or floor or equipment should look like must be developed and published into the team, so that it will act as a guideline for the all employees working over there. Okay, so the ways to define a standard is based on the following instructions. So the first instruction is standards is to be specific and objective oriented, based on the fact, not on the habits. Okay, then second, standards should be documented. So the third, workers to whom the standards are applicable shall be acquainted with it in adequate manner. Okay, and fourth, the standards shall be observed and respected. Let's see, if we have created some standards and if operator is not observing those standards or not following those standards, then those standards will not have any meaning. So the created standard should be observed and respected. Okay, now we will move to the 4S model. Okay, so here we have to ask first question, that is the standards are defined. If standards are not defined, then we have to inform it to the central 5S coordinator about the missing standards. Okay, so that he will create those standards. Okay, then if the standards are defined, then is the standards are visualized at shop? If standards are not visualized, we have to inform to the 5S coordinator to visualize the standards. Okay, and if the standards are visualized, then we have to ask the next question, is those 5 standards are followed? If not followed, then we have to inform to the caretaker of that area and note it on the OPL, that is open point list, so that he will take the corrective action. Okay, and if the 5 standards are followed as well, it is good. Okay, so after this we will see what the result we will get from this standardized. Okay, so there will be a minimum effort to meet the regular schedule. Okay, and there will not be a duplication of work because of the allocated responsibilities. Okay, then cleanliness and order become a part of the daily routine for each worker. Then the next result we will get, rules and experience are clearly described and communicated due to the standards. Okay, so the regular inspection and clean environment enables immediate identification of deviation from the standard. Okay, and at the end, because of the standards, we will have the stable performance. Okay, so now we will move to the 4S example. So here I have given the example of the clip chart. I will explain about the clip first. So this clip stands for the C stands for cleaning, L stands for lubrication, I stands for inspection, T stands for tightening. Okay, so this clip chart is generally available with operator of the machine on which the total productive maintenance is implemented. Okay, so this is one of the example of the standards. Okay, so you can prepare so many standards from all the activities conducted in sort out or set in order, or let's say for the cleaning purpose. Okay, so here one quote is there. See, if you can't see, you don't know, and if you don't know, you can't control. So it is important to visualize the standards so that standards can be documented, seen and referred. Okay, so this is all about the 4S. Up till now we have seen sort out, then set in order, then shine and standardize. Okay, now it's time to see the sustenance part. Okay, so the goal of sustenance is cleanliness and order are a part of daily routine and of a personal approach. Okay, so sustenance is more or less related to the personal attitude of the employee. Okay, so are you clear with the goal? Okay, so this sustenance will come through the personal attitude of the employee. Now we will move to the target. So the target is to maintain the discipline through standards, rules and regulation. Okay, so the standards should be strictly adhered so that the sustenance of those 5S improvements conducted throughout the sort activity to the standardized will sustain throughout the year. Let's say. Okay, so there are few ways to achieve this target. So first one is nominate a 5S coordinator for office or department. Okay, so that if there are any deviations, so this 5S coordinator will help you to train all the employees under that area for 5S approach. Okay, now next is to perform regular monthly audits like self audits or a cross audit. Okay, so now I will give the brief idea about what is the self audit and what is the cross audit. Okay, the audit which is conducted by area owner is a self audit, and if you ask someone else to conduct your audit, then that will be called as a cross audit. Okay, why cross audit is important? Because it will help you to identify the deviations. Okay, those cannot be seen by our own. Okay, now we'll move to the next way. We should acknowledge the areas or employees for extraordinary results. Okay, then the one line should be keep in mind before conducting audit is obey the goal of perfect condition is not a status when nothing can be added, but it is a status when nothing can be taken away. So audit should be conducted in a perfect condition only. Now we will move to the 5S model. Okay, so here we will ask the first question: is there any improvement found in 5S score? When you are conducting the 5S audit, you will come up with the score of that department. Okay, so as compared to the last month's score, if you see there is no any improvement found in 5S score, then you have to find the deviation. Why 5S score is not improved? Where are the deviations? And those deviations should be noted in the open point list. Okay, so after writing the deviation in the OPL, now the next question comes: is any corrective action taken on the OPL? If the action is not taken on the OPL, then you have to ask the next question: do they lack in 5S understanding? Why the action is not taken? Why that deviation is not closed? So you have to ask this question, do they lack in 5S understanding? If they lack in the 5S understanding, then it is your duty to give them the 5S training. And if they are having the clear understanding of 5S and still they have not taken the corrective action, then you have to escalate one level up. Okay, so if the corrective action is taken on the OPL, then you have to make it documented. That is, you have to standardize that action taken. That is, you have to standardize the action taken. Okay, so now let us see some results of this 5S. Okay, so this sustenance of 5S will result in the elimination of waste. Then it will result in a reduction in accessing and searching time. Also, it will optimize the space. Then because of this 5S improvements, you will have the improved ergonomic design of the workplace. Okay, then the place will be a safe and great. Then productivity improvement and quality improvement will happen, and ultimately the customer satisfaction will get improved. Okay, so these are the few results of the sustaining 5S. Okay, now we'll go to the next slide, that is why long-term sustenance is required. So what is your opinion about the long-term sustenance? Why it is required? Any guesses? Okay, I will tell you why long-term sustenance is required. Okay, now here you can see on the x-axis level of S, that is phases of S. Okay, and on the y-axis you can see the time or efforts. Okay, if you compare the time required or efforts required for various phases, then you will come to know that up to middle of shine activity you are requiring more time. Why? Because here in sort out you have to check item by item and take a decision for whether we have to remove those items or keep those items in the 5S museum. Okay, then for second S, here we have to identify the place for every item and we have to keep the every item at its place. Okay, identification of the place and then labeling of that place will take a much time. Okay, and here you can see the reduced efforts in cleaning area, because once the cleaning standards are created and those are practiced, then it will not take much time to clean those area. Okay, and from this onwards, for standards onwards, you will see that the time required or efforts taken will be very low. So as we are taking so many efforts in S1 to S3 phase, so it is required to get the sustain for longer duration. Okay, now we'll move to the process of 5S implementation. We have to identify the area or shop. It is also called as a zone. Okay, so after identifying those area, then we have to form a 5S team. Okay, so after forming the 5S team, we need to conduct the training with all the employees involving that shop. Okay, after conducting training, they should prepare a standard 5S board. Okay, here in this webinar of 5S, we have not talked about the 5S board standards. Okay, if you want 5S board standards separately, then you can write in the comment box, so that we will have the separate lecture on standards of 5S board. Okay, so after preparation of standard 5S board, then you have to start for the 1S activity, that is identify and eliminate the unnecessary items. Okay, so now these steps will be followed by 2S, that is place for everything and everything at its place. Okay, so you have to do the labeling, then layout marking. Okay, and next you have to make a cleaning schedule, and also you have to track its adherence. Okay, And next is standardization. Okay, the activities conducted throughout the 1S to the 3S, those should be made standardized and documents should be available. Okay, next is sustenance through the self audits. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to conduct the self audit for the sustenance. Okay, and there should be some cross audits. Let's say you can take it quarterly. Okay, and you have to track the OPL separately for those audits. After having those cross audits or self audits, you should centrally track the audit scores of each and every department. Okay. After tracking, you should release the information with all the stakeholders. Okay. So this is the process of 5S implementation. So here we will end up our webinar on 5S. So thank you guys for patience learning. And if you have any doubts or any queries, you can write in the comment box. I will get back to you one by one. Okay, so thanks.
Hello friends, once again I am here for the last part of today's function, that is valedictory function. I would like to thank each and every participant for wholehearted participation throughout the webinar and making this webinar a grand success. Lastly, I would like to thank Mr. Ravi Kiran Tate, our today's keynote speaker or resource person, for giving his time and giving valuable insights regarding 5S methodologies for lean manufacturing. Now, I hope that you might have understood many things regarding the 5S methodology as well as lean manufacturing. And I hope that you will use it in your day-to-day life in order to get the success in each and every area of your life. Now you might be waiting for your feedback form, and after that feedback form you will get the certificate. Now for the feedback form you can check the comment box below. There I have given the feedback form link. Along with that I have given the few instructions. Still I will repeat those instructions. After receiving the feedback form, you have to click on the link which I have given there. After that feedback form will be opened. You have to go through each and every question and you have to answer all those questions. After answering all those questions, you have to submit that feedback form. As soon as you are going to submit the feedback form, you will get your e-certificate. Hope you might have understood the guidelines regarding how you can get the e-certificate. Still, if it is not possible or if you have not received that e-certificate, in the comment box below I have given the contact details of us. You can reach out to us, or if further any doubt, any query, any help you are requiring or expecting from our side, definitely we are there to help you. Once again, thank you so much for making this webinar a grand success. Stay home, stay safe, take care of yourself as well as your family members and loved ones. Thank you so much.